Medical Museum. What a beautiful day. And Catherine McLeod and Steve Lear are our guests today. Well, we're their guests. They're going to show us around and tell us all about the museum. And Diane Welch and Caroline is behind the counter. So,
I'm going to come on inside and tell you a little bit about the building when we get
so here we are inside, and it looks absolutely fabulous. And Catherine and Steve are going to show us around, tell us all about the place, and we're so excited about this.
Catherine, why don't you tell us a little bit about the history of the building?
Well, I'll have to start out with it. This is just one of my favorite. This is just a hidden jewel that very few people know about. And I was fortunate enough to work in the lab at our hospital for 44 years. So this is one of my favorites.
Right.
But it all began in 1890 with Dr. Edmund Ashe. So
There's his picture.
And Dr. Ashe purchased this in 1890, and there was 3 Dr. Ashes that practiced here. And then in 1925, Dr. Ashe passed, and his widow sold it to pay debts. And she sold it to a L.D. Robinson. Mr. Robinson kept it for 2 days, and then sold it to Dr. J.M. Covington for $4,620. And there also was 3 Dr. Covingtons that practiced here. I don't know if I mentioned there was 3 Dr. Ashes that practiced here also. So I think that's pretty neat too.
Yes.
And I did some research. This was an actual operating doctor's office. I mean, this was the doctor's office for those 6 doctors that were here. And I did some research. There are 5 medical museums in North Carolina, 5 exclusive medical museums in North Carolina. We're the only one in the Piedmont. So this is certainly a rare jewel here and a hidden gem. So we're proud of it, and we just need to get the word out more. Thank you guys for helping us to get the word out.
Yes, absolutely. We're delighted to be part of this.
So looking around green, Catherine, what sort of things would you point out in this room? There are so many things. We're just going to point out
And I
a few
can excited
things.
about all of it, but one of my favorite is this is all Dr. William Massey Smithy's. Dr. Smithy was a surgeon for Anson County for a long, long time. And here is one of his medical diplomas and his doctor bags there. I mean, it's just so much. And Steve will tell you about one of his certificates.
Yes, when I was looking at one of the certificates in the case there, I noticed that it was signed by President John F. Kennedy.
Wow.
And it was signed in October of 1963. And all of us who know history know that President Kennedy was assassinated in November 1963, shortly after the signing of that certificate. It was a certificate in appreciation of what Dr. Smithy had done, I think, for the medical troops or for government medical troops. So I just thought that was kind of fascinating.
It is.
I also found this fascinating over here, this book
Yes.
in this corner. If you visit the museum, and we certainly hope that you will, I hope you'll browse through this book. This is a book of medical charges, and you'll be amazed at how inexpensive things were back in the day and how much costs have gone.
And yet back in that day, Steve, they probably were expensive too. At
At
that
the
time. Just thinking of my childhood and the few times I went to the doctor.
Very legible.
And another thing that amazes me by this, that people today will be amazed of, everything is kept by hand. There were no computers, no computer records. It was all recorded by hand.
And some of the physicians, of course, Dr. Beeman, I think, was a friend of Dr. Ashe's, but all that information's here, so you'll have to come in and read about it all. But also, another one of our physicians, Felda Hightower, who I do believe Kenneth Caroline.
That's right. That's my great uncle. He wasn't
Yes.
I think we'll see some of
Yes.
her memorabilia.
And did you
Some of the
know about the
memorabilia.
sword?
Well, people are fascinated when they come in at the sword that we have above the mantle here, and certainly is a fascinating piece. This is a Civil War saber that was owned by one of our doctors in Anson County, William H. Battle II. He practiced medicine in Lysville. We do have a couple of medical bags in here.
Yes.
One down here and one up here, and there's some others scattered around. I just think it's fascinating to let people know because certainly medicine has changed now. Doctors used to travel around to practice medicine, so they would carry their medicine, their tools in the bags here.
Yeah.
Certainly a practice of long ago that no longer today.
That's right.
But the bag was very important because it contained all their medical equipment.
Is there anything in here of Dr. Davis's, Dr. Bob's dad?
Yeah, in the next room.
Okay. I knew him. My dad was an overseer for him and,
Oh, wow.
and tended the farm. And actually, when something happened to us, he came out and took care of us. That was pretty awesome, you know. So
And Dr. Robert was just as great.
yes,
Wonderful.
yes.
So,
The museum. How did you all acquire the stuff?
The museum was given to the Historical Society in 2000. And then in June of 2001, this vision came about. It was Dr. Robert Davis, John Dunlap, Harry May, and Paul Ricketts. And they began the refurbishing and doing the ceilings back the same and the paint. And this is what we came up with.
it's a beautiful facility.
Yes, it is.
But I'm amazed how small it seems when you consider today's modern doctor's offices, how small this was that they practice medicine in an office like this, but they did it very well because here we all are.
That's right. Absolutely.
And what is so amazing, you can come in here 100 times and you'll come through and you'll see something you didn't see before.
Yes.
Because when we go into this next room, I'm gonna let Steve point this out. I just discovered this day before yesterday. Was it
I
yesterday?
think it's in the next.
No, the feeders.
Oh, the feeders, yes.
Yes.
Yes, oh, fascinating. Come on, let's go to the next room.
This is amazing. And I had missed it in all my trips.
So, if you'll look in this cabinet here, we noticed as we were in here yesterday that there are a lot of, looks like very ornate ceramic pots. And we weren't even certain exactly why all of these pots were there. So we did a little bit of research ourselves and found out these were pots, I think they were called pat boats. Pat boats, because this is what was used to feed invalids. So this is the precursor to a feeding tube.
And the preemies.
Yes.
Wow.
So pap was a mixture of flour and water, and they just mixed it up and fed it to people who could not feed themselves in these little pap
But the
boats.
floral designs and all the designs on some of them are just amazing.
They are.
And there's so many. I'm amazed at how many that there are, and I did not know that these were used.
And it's pap boats.
Wow.
Yes. So, Catherine, tell us a little bit about what this room is mainly dedicated to, and I think over in this corner would certainly
Well,
point
I'm going to
that
start
out.
off about the sanatorium.
Okay.
Our sanatorium, Anson Sanatorium, and everybody thinks of that, but it is a hospital. It was built in 1913, and it was for the Anson and surrounding counties. I've been told, I don't know if it's true or not, that we were the only hospital between here and Wilmington for a long, long time. And in fact, the Levine family from Rockingham came over to Anson and gave birth to their child. And that child now is Leon Levine, Charlotte's top-known philanthropist.
Yes.
And it was till 1953. But then in 1923, the nursing school formed. And it was, they hired Miss Elizabeth Finley from Chicago. And she came down and she was director of the school and also head of the nursing. And it just trained so many girls in this county and surrounding counties up until 1943. And then World War II made it impossible to continue. So we have so many capes, and these are lots of graduating classes. The picture in the middle, a lot of people remember Miss Betty Medley. She was the American Cross Lady forever.
are pure, something.
And they're back to look like the original metal.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's fascinating.
I love their outfits.
I know. And so many, there's several caps in there. They're sort of hidden. I was looking for them to show Steve.
A lot of nurses were trained in Anson
A
County.
lot.
Right. Yeah, that's-
And that would be another interesting thing to look up, see how many nursing programs there were around the area in 1923 to 43.
Yes.
Or would be interesting also to find out the stories of those who are still here or still in the area or still
Gosh,
know.
I think
Right.
We could do some interviews. That would be interesting.
That would be interesting.
everybody remembers Miss Ruby Sorrell. She was here for a long, long, long
Yes,
time.
I remember her.
And Miss Harriet Callaghan and all these
Yes,
great ladies.
yes.
Margaret Lowe, yeah.
Oh, gosh, yes, Margaret Lowe, one of my favorite people.
So in this case, we have some implements that are of interest to you. You see
This is
another
a-
doctor's bag here. That is open up, but
Another microscope.
there you go.
For your injection. How would you like that? I don't think so.
Old needle, and
I don't think
in the case you have some old amputating tools,
Yes, there is
amputating
an
knives.
amputation knife. And these are wooden splints. And scales for the pharmacy. And then there's the old sterilizer, where you had to sterilize all the instruments. And actually, you were asking, but that's Dr. Rock.
Yeah, I saw that.
Dr.
J.J.
Davis's bag.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes.
And there's his
And that's
portrait.
his.
Mhm.
Dr. Sorrell.
Yes. And I always thought Dr. Allen looked like President Eisenhower.
He does.
Yeah, he does.
yes.
When he-
He
He's
tried to
trying to
hung in the
resemble us
hospital
there.
for a long time.
Right.
And
Wonder who did that picture of Dr. Sorrell.
I don't know, but it's beautiful.
It
It's
is.
beautiful.
Move on. And make sure you get a picture of the wheelchair
Steve
here.
and I were actually going to ride each other around, but we decided we better not.
Afraid we'd break it. But anyway, it's pretty fascinating to see an ancient wheelchair.
And this whole wall is the three Dr. Covingtons.
Okay.
I mean, you could just look for hours.
Yes.
And I am serious. I come in and, gosh,
It is fascinating, it really is.
and I'm sure you remember Dr. Kress. There's a picture of them. Dr. Jack and Dr.
Yeah.
Esther. Mm-hmm. And Caroline.
There we go.
Oh,
And another doctor
I'm
bag.
sure that's the bag.
okay.
So,
Dr. D.W.
found this book fascinating that we found in here. It's a handwritten record of operations, and I found my name in there from where I had had my appendix taken out when I was 11 years old.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so again, everything kept by hand.
And who his anesthetist was, and But doesn't have price, does it?
I think it's in that book out there.
Now, this chair was a,
Dental, I suppose.
okay,
It was a dental
okay,
chair.
okay,
Yes.
okay.
And in this corner, we do have a lot of dental equipment.
Now, those scales are fascinating.
An old blood pressure kit. I don't know if you got that.
I use those, believe it or not.
That kit.
We actually did those.
Tim, what is that?
Okay.
It's the counting chambers for counting white cells and red cells.
Oh,
It's called a hemocytometer. And when I went to work, I actually used one. Does that help my age?
but
Oh,
you
and
know,
make sure you get this.
I know.
what is this?
I never.
This is
It's like something
some
you'd
kind of
see.
oh wait a minute, a
Something
surgeon's
like
light
Oh, okay.
from the late 1800s.
How about that? That's before they got.
Not electric. Not electric.
This is fascinating, it really is. We're hoping to give people a bird's eye view at least, you know, and entice them to come in.
We'd love that.
Yes.
We'd love to have visitors. And they can just call the Historical Society office and set up a
Arrange for
tour.
Wonderful.
So what's the story on the teeth?
We're not really certain, but the people are fascinated by those teeth.
And it does have all shades. Look, here's a.
You get to pick out the teeth you want.
I
I
think
don't
so.
know. There's
I think
one
so.
W, three W. So I don't know. There's another tray beneath.
Interesting.
Maybe one of your viewers can
Right.
shed some light on that. Maybe
This
maybe
is-
a dental.
this is-
And then as we go out, there's one item we forgot to mention that was in the first room that everybody is fascinated by, and that is
Yes, we
this chair.
Okay.
That we're not certain exactly what it was used for,
It's got straps.
but it has straps and a place for you to put your neck. And
Right.
so
right.
I imagine things that happened here weren't very pleasant, but that was the medicine of the day.
Yeah, right, absolutely. Some things when you had to be still,
I just love to know that.
that is really something.
Again, maybe somebody who watches this video can tell
Shed
us.
some light on this as well,
Exactly.
yes, so know exactly what it is, and that would be awesome. This has been wonderful, and remember what Steve said about if you are interested in taking a tour, this is kind of like a bird's eye view of it that we're presenting. If you're interested in taking a tour, just get in touch with the Historical Society, and they will arrange a tour for you, and it is just absolutely fascinating, I think. Thank you, Steve.
Well, thank
And
you all.
Just a hidden jewel.
Thank you all for helping us get the word out. We do feel like we have something special here, and we would like for more folks to take advantage of it.
Right.
And
And if anybody has anything they'd like to donate, we'd love to have it.
Absolutely. All right. Hope you all enjoyed this. Thank you.
And just in case you didn't know where the medical museum is at, it's located close to Oliver's in downtown Waitsburg. And behind the medical museum, there's also something pretty fascinating. It is an herb garden, and it is a work in progress. Right now, we have a lot of culinary herbs in the garden, and they are labeled, and we're still working on that. But we're also hoping to get more medicinal herbs in the garden as well, and some ways so that you can tell not only what they are, but also what their uses were for. So we think that is a great addition to our property here. We'd love for you to come by and visit and make it an experiential visit. Take some of the leaves and press them and sniff. The lemon balm plant out there, and some of the, you'll certainly smell that as you just pinch the leaves and smell. We invite you to do that.
Sounds great.